Welcome back to Incredibly Uncensored. I am Johnny B. Good, joined by the boys this evening. Oh my gosh, episode number 45.
Holy smokes.
Let's fucking go. Man, we are nearing the end of January and it is feeling nice moving through the year already. I am digging it. X, where's that energy today, buddy? Did you bring an Italian soda?
Yeah, that was a little loud in my eardrums.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm a very enthusiastic individual. What do you want from me, my guy?
We gotta
You
get
can
this.
see my Italian soda. Why did you ask?
We gotta get this party started.
Well, because this is called a podcast. So we actually talk about things.
I don't know. I do a lot of
yeah,
listening.
we're like storytellers. We're like,
Like
storytellers.
storytellers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just like three little books sitting right here, just trying to open up.
Oh my God. Have you said that before? Like that came out really naturally.
No, that was nice though.
That was fucking trippy.
Don't say that at work.
Don't say that at work.
no, that's actually absolutely coming out of work.
That's punchable. That's punchable. So is there anything? So you told me that you have a lot of guys at work that listen to the pod.
Yep.
Any messages you'd like to relay to them? Let's see if they're actually listening.
Oh boy.
John just wants to know if he's the most popular.
Ooh,
I
that'd be a good poll.
No.
Let's
Listen,
pull.
let's
pull whether you should grow your beard back.
Oh no, there's no poll needed.
I have zero.
He has hair on his face. This is good
Oh yeah,
because without it, it's not.
it was
Not
so
wrong.
smooth.
Dude,
It was so smooth.
so back on Christmas Eve, like a month ago, I let the intrusive thoughts win. I had the fucking trimmers out and I'm just like, I don't, fucking drives me nuts. So without, well, yeah, you gotta shave it all. Son of a bitch. For those of you that couldn't see because he's not on video, he
right.
referenced shaving my pubes up through my chest and into my face. He's not completely wrong, but I mean, manscaping, it's 2025. Take pride in the way you look. All right. It's not the 1970s.
It's quite the path.
It's quite the bad.
Yeah, it's just one
But
path.
I just ended up going, burn. And I'm like, well, I'm committed. So I took that bitch down. I'm like, there's also
So no guard? I mean, what
No.
are we talking?
no guard.
It looked like you like razor
No, I
shaped
did.
it.
I
Yeah.
did.
Oh, okay.
So after I got the growth gone, I'm like, I'm just going full bore. I'm going baby's bottom.
Man.
Hold on.
I wanted to,
let's stop because somewhere in between there was a hideous mustache that he proudly paraded through the house.
No.
No. How do you not?
nah, because it was early and I wanted to get up and just get ready. So I just did all my shit. Jessica didn't even notice. It was like fucking 10 o'clock. And then she kind of like looked up and she goes, ugh. I'm like, what? She goes, nothing. She's like, you shave. I'm like,
She let her intrusive thoughts win too.
she goes, what'd you do that for? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, okay.
Okay.
I like you better when I can't see your face.
Yeah, true story.
I
And I told you this, but I'm like, I just want to know what a foul-mouthed little toddler looked like. So I figured I'd shave off my beard.
it is crazy how I mean you shed years when you,
Oh,
when you
yeah.
cut the beard off.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
It's been so long.
So I used to shave my head.
Mm.
I have a nice round head, don't have any giant divots or scars. So, I mean, it's easy to shave. But if I were to shave my head and shave my face, I'd look 30 years old.
Probably.
I'd
yeah.
look 30 years old all day long.
Oh yeah.
Just because the gray like excessively ages me. And I don't give a shit. You know, it is what it is.
I don't know that it's. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, it does. I mean,
Does it?
my kids, right? They didn't even know
Okay,
who you
to the
were.
kids, yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you mean the old guy?" I'm like,
The
"What?
old guy.
Yeah, the guy with the gray hair."
That retired guy that you hang out with.
It's true though. It's true. Yeah, that retired guy. Yeah, fucker just wants to go to Cedar Point on a random Tuesday. Like, yeah.
I have
that-
a retired friend to hang out with.
Mhm.
Anyway. So I got some good feedback about our rants from the previous episode. Does anybody have a rant for this episode as we get things kicked off?
I'm not angry yet. We can
Okay.
talk. We can talk about a few
Okay.
things. And
I
maybe
don't want. We got to steer clear of politics.
Oh man.
Politics are not well received.
All right. So no, I'm not mad about anything else right
Okay, well, stay mad.
now.
Davison made angry. So, actually, have anything to rant about?
Let's talk. No.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad.
Let's
Hey,
talk now.
we're getting some more.
How's the snow removal? That was you.
I don't want to talk about it.
How's the snow removal at in your neck of the woods?
Fine.
You guys have any trouble?
No.
Your tax dollars at work?
No, due to where I'm at, we're always like kind of last, but I do live next to a county attraction. So
Oh,
that
right.
so that kind of helps
Yeah.
the fishing and stuff like that.
Right.
So that kind of helps. But no, I mean they always come, sometimes a little later than normal, but no.
How about you? I mean, you brought it up. Let's rant, baby.
Oh, I don't know yet. It's not been a lot of snow.
They've had to go over
They're usually
over the break.
Yeah.
They had
usually
to.
I can hear plows before 8, sometimes before 7.
I had left.
Well, and you're in the city.
Yeah, and I'm like well on the outskirts. I mean,
Right.
I'm
Oh,
like
for sure.
fucking hop, skip, and a jump from the next.
I've got
And I'm in a
town over.
subdivision, so our stuff's HOA. So
Oh,
our guy.
Oh, so you
I was about to say,
you don't
I've
even
got-
have the county guy.
I've got stupid taxes, so I expect it to be taken care of.
Yeah.
You,
Which
you-
is
you
valid.
have
Absolutely.
stupid HOA, so you
do.
expect it to be taken care
We
of.
do. I think it's like $300 and some a year.
Did you get your notice that the cost of snow removal is going up this year?
No.
Oh, it's coming.
What do they? What does the HOA include? Is it like
Snow removal. That's what it
that-
includes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No trash,
You,
no.
you don't have like
Our
a.
trash is per taxes.
Oh, okay. You don't have like a commons area or something in there that gets maintained or nothing like no.
Taxes.
Mhm.
To who?
Richfield Township.
Yeah.
They
Like
have a
trash.
they have a trash
It's,
agreement. with them.
waste management, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Mterra now.
Yeah, it is Mterra
It's just
because I'm Richfield
interesting.
Township.
I mean, you
also.
get out of town,
Right.
And I mean, I grew up in the sticks. If you wanted garbage, you better call a garbage company
Right.
and set
So-
something up.
right.
But
So out there, I lived in Lapeer for a short time, and we had to get it through Rick Rines.
Yep. Right.
And we had to do a quarterly
Right.
or a
but
you know,
if you wanted
agreement.
it,
Yeah, if
you
you
don't
wanted
have
it, you could.
you don't have a choice, is what you're saying. It's part of your taxes,
Correct.
but
That
that's
is
at a township level.
Correct.
So is it the entire township as
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
Interesting.
Listeners, if you have any questions about garbage disposals, garbage pickup, please
Waste management.
let
in
us know.
general.
The waste management open in Arizona is badass, and we need to take a trip out there to watch that.
That would be sweet.
I would not be upset about that. You want to go watch some golf?
Hey.
I mean, we do the Ally Challenge.
Oh, I
Where-
wouldn't know because I didn't get an invite to that.
Yeah, well, I barely got an invite too.
That's true. You work, so that's going to be
I do work, but
difficult.
if
It's
you tell
nearby.
me, I might be able to adjust my schedule a
It's
little bit.
nearby. It's not too far.
It's true.
do
It's
it.
so awesome.
That would be
much
so
fun.
awesome.
It is so awesome. We got to bring him next year, even if it's just to walk around the course.
What were we talking about? Something
know.
about garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking
Oh,
about
We were talking about garbage, then
Who
we
the
started
flip-
talking about golf.
So did your guys? So you're Richfield Township. You're something,
I'm Richfield
He's
Township
Richfield
also.
Township.
and you have what garbage company now?
Mterra?
Did it change recently?
No,
It was.
it's been Mterra for years.
Has it?
Mhm.
Okay, so maybe not. Maybe
got-
maybe
got-
the truck color just changed.
Those of us that hang out at the house, we know who the garbage men is
You got
when
the,
they show
you got
up.
the big bins. They come around with the robot arm.
No,
Nope,
No?
it's two guys. One
Oh.
guy, one driving, one
Dang.
loading.
the standard
Or
old school
girls.
thrower.
I've seen women out there, so
Yep.
it can be men or women. But
Yep. I give our garbage guys some Gatorades when I'm home.
do you?
Yep, try to hook them up.
Yeah,
It's a thankless job that
Sure.
actually feeds into this Reddit story for this week's episode too.
it is a
I pure-
thankless, necessary job.
Absolutely,
I'm
it
very
is.
thankful
Yeah.
to all the people that
Yep.
that take care of all
I
that
peer
shit
through
for
the
us.
blinds and cross my fingers and hope they take everything, not the garbage can.
I try to be like I try to
Valid.
keep it all together and make it as easy as possible for them. You know, I
Absolutely.
try to bag everything up, tie it all up.
I've taught the kids to make sure that we face wheels out so they can grab the
Grab
cans
it.
easily and don't have to flip them around.
Yeah.
They're like, "What do we do that for?" I'm like, "We're just trying to make life easy. We don't
Our-
need to make things more difficult
Ours
for them."
changed.
Right.
So your your strategy has to change if it's depending on if it's the arm truck or
Sure.
if it's the person truck. If it's the arm
Absolutely.
truck, you
Yeah.
just freaking pile everything on top and don't care as long as it's piled.
Right.
Yep.
Dude's got to wheel it to the back of the truck. That's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's valid.
So
That's valid. Anything else that we want to discuss before we get into the story time?
well, you know the minutia of the no.
Can I talk about water treatment?
No.
Oh, all right.
Jesus.
Well, I mean,
We live very close to Flint. The last thing we're talking about is fucking water.
I have a
You
well.
kidding me?
I have a well, baby. I got old natural.
Not me. I got that good Detroit water.
Mm,
Yum, yum,
yeah.
motherfucker. All right, here we go. This story is actually very topical to this fucking conversation. So kudos to X for thinking of that. Today's Reddit story comes from Confessions, the subreddit Confessions.
Ooh, do they not pile their garbage up?
No, it says, I despise telling women my job.
Oh.
I don't even have a quote unquote bad job either. I'm a garbage man. More often than not, when I reveal this, I just get ghosted. They probably think, okay, garbage man, uneducated, etc., etc. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting, and I was a bookkeeper for 10 plus years before I switched to this.
Oh, shit.
It's a city job. I make 6 figures, have good vacation, good health insurance for life, a pension for life that allows me to retire when I'm around 50 years old. I'm literally set for life. But once some people hear garbage man, they don't respect me or something.
Where is that a city job?
Do I want to talk to somebody who won't talk to me because of my job in the first place? Not at all, but it's still fucking annoying. I've tried phrasing it different, like I work for the city sanitation department, still ghosted. So there's a lot to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about being a garbage man, the thankless aspect to the job. But on the flip side of that, what must it be like right now to date people? Because we talked about it a couple previous episodes, like that social, like going to the bar to meet somebody, like the world's just different now.
So,
And so much of it's online and dating apps and shit like that. Swipe left, swipe right, all
So I know-
craziness.
in my industry, I know quite a few single guys
Mhm.
who use Tinder and
Plenty of fish, Bumble. Yep.
all these other ones. And the hookup culture is what it is right now. You don't see a lot of people like getting together and doing these long-term you do see it,
Sure.
but a lot of these like single guys, I mean, man, you can hop on there and find what you're looking for in just a few minutes. With willing participants,
Yeah.
you can get a couple a night if you want.
Jesus.
And I almost part of me almost wonders if it's like an addiction.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like getting on there, like just seeing what you can get. But some of that shit's like,
All of it's a dopamine rush.
Yeah.
It's just like scrolling TikTok or on your Facebook feed, whatever it is.
but being in a pretty fucking stable relationship for the
Sure.
last 17 years.
Right.
I can't even fucking imagine what I would do. What I would do to get out there and date, because I don't know that I would have anything in common with anybody on an online dating app.
Nope.
There's no way.
Yeah. I have
Like,
never been more happy to be married in my entire life.
You are not
And
fucking kidding.
so we're in that weird dynamic where we're all married,
Mhm.
right? You didn't really date. I did. You did.
I did, yeah.
And so dating back then was just like you had to have the balls to go talk to somebody. Like,
Yeah.
you had to have you had to walk up and have a pickup line, or
You had to have
make conversation and
you had to have a physical attraction,
right.
like right then, your
Right.
first impression.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you knew what you were looking at.
Right.
You knew it was
Right.
real because
Right.
it was
At least the physical proportions.
well, yeah.
That
Sure.
fucking bitch is psychotic. She burned my goddamn house down.
Yeah.
But like my kids, our kids,
Mm-hmm.
and my kids are young. This isn't something I'm thinking about, but like as they get older, they're in college, they're whatever, working after they get out of high school. That's like how they're going to meet people. And to me, that's just so mind boggling. Like, I don't have any advice to give you.
No.
Like, I got nothing.
No. I mean, it would be the same advice, right? Because
But would it be?
No, but it's like your same morals and principles still apply. Be honest,
Without a doubt.
be honest, be who you are,
Without a doubt.
so that you
Right.
can try to have the best experience possible
Right.
with the options that you're given.
Right.
You know what I
Or at
mean?
least an
Like,
authentic connection.
yeah, and maybe just teach them to kind of strive for that. Steer them out of that hookup culture because
Right.
it's fun, but man, it's a pain in the ass.
It
Like
just seems like it comes with a lot of baggage.
it does, and it steers you in the wrong direction from the
Right.
start.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of learning experiences, but you get started late.
Sure. Ax, how old is your oldest?
18.
18. I mean, that's probably not something that you have conversations with about your 18-year-old. Is it?
No, no, but I think that still comes back to a values thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I don't disagree with
And
that.
and you're parenting, raising them the right
yeah,
way to make the right choices in those
right.
in those situations.
Doesn't mean that that's what the kid's going to choose as an adult or in
Right.
adulthood, but
Right.
I mean, it still comes down to
Well, and it's like that low-hanging fruit, like, I just want to have a good time tonight,
That's it.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it, because there's a known expectation going in, right?
Yeah.
Like people can literally put in their profile,
Mm-hmm.
not looking for anything serious, you
Yep.
know, or looking for a long-term relationship, whatever that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like at the end of the day, you do what you want to do. It
Yeah.
just, it's so outside the scope of what I think about when it comes to dating that I don't even know how to have a reasonable conversation about it.
So do you think that there's a possibility that the idea, because it seems like traditional marriage, having kids, like those types of things are kind of on the back burner for a lot
Mhm.
of people right now. The world's really expensive, and
Oh,
there's
that
a
we're
lot
going to
of
talk about that in our discussion.
other factors, you know,
Sure.
that are in there. But do you think that there's a way that we can get back to um people being more open to traditional marriages and having kids and having them traditional family? Maybe not, and I'd use traditional loosely, you know what I
Right.
mean? Just married couple that has kids,
Sure.
works, lives a traditional
Absolutely.
American life, you know.
Right.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what the statistics are on it, but I know that it's down.
Oh, yeah.
I know that in my age group, well, even our age group, to be married as long as we have is pretty uncommon.
Oh, absolutely it is.
I
We are the exception, not the rule.
Oh yeah, and that's very true. You know, I mean, I only know literally outside of you two a very small maybe two
Yeah.
other couples
Sure.
that have been married more than 10 years,
Sure.
you know, and
Yeah.
they've actually been married longer than us, or yeah, than Kelly and I, which is crazy to think about.
Right. How long have you been married?
15 years.
15?
Yeah, 15 in well, just in December.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll be 20 years for me
yeah, that's crazy.
this September. How about you?
22.
22?
And that's when I tell people that I've been married 15
Yeah.
years, they're like, "What?
Right.
Like, really?" I'm like, "Yeah.
I mean, I think it's commendable.
Yeah,
It's a good thing. It lends so much stability to your life by having a
That's
partner you can rely on.
that's so huge. And being together this long, like, we know pretty much everything about each other.
Sure, of
And
course.
there's nobody else that knows everything about you.
100%.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's a really strong comfort
Yeah.
in knowing that. You know what I mean? Like, she's not gonna judge me
No.
for anything
Nope.
because she knows all the worst shit that I've done already, and I'm not gonna do that again.
Right.
So
Right. Well, and if your spouse isn't your best friend, are you even doing marriage right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
that's kind of how I feel
because
too.
Kelly always says, she's like she'll tell me shit, you know, that her coworkers say or whatever, and she's like, I tell them because they'll tell me not to tell anybody. Like, I'm gonna tell my husband,
Right.
but
Right.
I can't even put faces on them people. You
Yeah,
know what I
of
mean? I
course.
just know them as
Right.
their names and
Right.
just
The story.
the coworker banter and shit. And it's the same with me telling her stories.
Yep.
She doesn't really know some of the faces, but she knows the names.
Right.
So
Right. Nope, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Episode 45. Holy fuck, I cannot believe it.
that is crazy.
It is crazy. Let's play a little Urban Dictionary Roulette.
I don't use Urban Dictionary, so this is gonna be. I know what it is, but
Okay.
this is gonna be fun.
So X and I are both going to pick a number and a letter combination. You're going to pull that up in your phone and you're going to read us whatever that is. So if we say like A4,
Mhm.
you're going to hit A. We're going to go to the fourth entry under A, and you're going to read that one.
Okay.
And we're going to play a little dictionary roulette. X, you're breaking the seal, buddy. Give me a letter and a number.
L11.
Ooh.
It is late. It is 11.
L. 2, 3. Which way does it go?
There might
This
not
way.
be an 11.
1, 2,
So then pick
3,
your favorite.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Let's go. Let's see what X just divined.
L plus ratio plus you fell off. Any ideas what you think that might?
Say it again.
L plus ratio plus you fell off.
No idea.
Any idea?
I'm not very urban.
This is me either. So this is by Among Us Sucks on May 5th, 2022.
Okay.
The goddess tier of arguments. If you decide to say this, you won. Unless you are almost and very close to losing, this is the best way to climb back up. Person 1, you are literally toxic. You keep saying easy and it's completely useless. Person 2, L plus ratio plus you fell off.
If somebody ever sent me that, I would probably respond, I fucking hate you.
Fucking hate you.
I fucking hate you.
That's pretty good. When I read the goddess tier of arguments, I was like, that's right up your alley.
I still don't know what it is.
Well, just know that you won. That's the only important thing.
X absolutely won there.
Yeah,
X won.
That's the only important thing.
All right, I want to go with B4.
All right,
I think you looked these up already.
I did not. I bet this one's going to be fucking hilarious, though.
See?
B1. Do I count? Hang on, let me see if there's something on that one. No, there's nothing on that. Well, there's the letter is at the top, and I didn't know if I had to count that one.
Got
So
it.
1, 2,
You're making the rules.
3, 4.
Yeah, you are making the rules.
Ooh, I don't know what this means. Maybe nothing bad. B and M factor.
B and M factor. What?
Nope. This is by Michael Foolsley, November 12th, 2013. Crowded anything. Highways, stores, streets, etc. B and M means bodies and machines. Saying one experienced a high B and M factor means they experienced a situation where the ratio of bodies machine space was extremely out of balance.
Bleh. That was bullshit. All right.
You want to redo?
Yes. Give me something that's fucking funny. That one was fucking dog water. That's right. I said it, Zoomers, you fucks.
Let's go.
These urban people need to get out more. B&M.
Hey, oh my God.
Perfect. That is what I'm looking for right there. Right there, my guy. Let's see what you got.
I'm
Oh,
not.
that one made me blush.
Yeah, I can tell your face
Oh,
blended
boy.
in with Maryland
Holy
there
cow.
for a second.
All right, are you ready for this?
Yes.
No.
This is called the beef.
Oh, man.
The
This is
bee
gonna be bad.
finger. It's this is by I Love the Killers, December 3rd, 2009. Oh my God.
So old.
The description makes me uncomfortable.
I don't like any of this.
Read it, bitch.
God damn it, this is so bad.
His phone battery went dead.
When you're eating Butterfingers and you take one and stick it in a girl's pussy while you finger her asshole with your bee finger. God, so uncomfortable right now. God. Oh my God.
So that is absolutely the shit I'm after for Urban Dictionary. Well done.
Fuck, that made me. I'm so hot and sweaty right now. Oh.
Do you want to pick another one?
No, I don't.
All right, here's what I want you to do.
But Johnny B's just got his latest idea for his GPT.
We'll do one more. I want you to go to Google.
I need some water because
All right.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
Okay,
I'm
take a drink.
Going to Google and what?
I love that he gets uncomfortable. He's like, I need somebody to put something in my mouth.
It's myself. It's myself. No, but no B fingers for me.
I want you to go to all right, I want you to go to Google and I
Okay.
want you to search Tony Danza Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
Tony Danza Urban Dictionary. This one is one of my all-time favorites.
Do you also replace Tiny Dancer with Tony Danza?
Yes,
When you okay.
100%.
Oh, I'm assuming it's the Tony Danza.
That is correct.
Oh man. Fuck. I didn't even read the whole thing. I just got through. I'm like, oh,
Come on.
okay. That is the Tony Danza is when a man is engaging in sexual and or anal intercourse with a woman, preferably. One must strike the recipient with an open or closed fist with much force and simultaneously yell, "Who's the boss?" To which the recipient will no doubt answer, "You are." And one loudly replies, "No, bitch, Tony Danza's the boss." Optional, a second strike may or may not accompany this correction. God damn it.
Oh, okay.
You want to know what the like the enunciation is, or the
Sure.
example?
Sure.
I introduced Alyssa Milano to the Tony Danza last night and put her into a coma. What the fuck? This was by Tony Danza on March 29th, 2004.
Yeah. That was the early days of the old Urban Dictionary, and the Tony Danza
Wow.
was a fucking staple.
Well, why don't we make it dark and see what the listing for Diddy is? Diddy Urban
All right. I don't hate it.
Dictionary. It's probably a lot of new entries.
Probably.
1. A self-absorbed singer, actor, rapper, clothing designer who never wrote his own lyrics ever, who seems to think it's cool to change his name every 2 weeks. Yo, my name is Diddy. I thought it was P. Diddy. Nah, I just changed it to a new name.
Okay. Is that it?
I
wonder if they're legal changes. If that helps in the court system.
This one says Diddy equals tit. Diddies equal tits. Arg. She has a lovely pair of ditties.
What deep South hillbilly saying that shit?
Normally used by kids in Ireland as a slang word for tits.
Okay, Ireland.
Yep.
There it is.
I learned a new Irish slang word.
Did you?
Yeah,
Do
wagon.
share. Huh?
Wagon.
Doucher?
Okay. Define it.
She's a wagon.
She's a wagon?
Yeah, don't be a wagon. It's slang term for
Is it good or bad?
it's bad,
It's bad.
but not real bad.
She's about like she's as big as a wagon?
No.
She looks like a covered wagon.
It's somebody who's like
That's what
I'm-
is lost on me.
Yep.
We're playing verbal Pictionary. I don't know what to do.
She's a wagon.
So I did have to tell the kids the other day. They were asking about something. I was trying to do something that's in my fucking way. And I'm like, I don't have the time nor the crayons to explain this to you right now. Just let me do my fucking work. Kids are like, crayons? I'm like, just leave me the fuck alone. I'm like, please. And that brings me to our discussion point for today.
So do they know what crayons are, right? Like kids
Yeah,
still use them?
Yeah, but I think
I'm a little
Yes.
I'm a little detached from the age range. So
Yes.
they probably didn't understand what it really meant. You know what I
Correct.
mean? Like,
Yeah. I'm
the-
calling them morons
yeah,
without
but
calling
then
them
yeah,
morons.
and they didn't.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
probably like
All my best jokes are lost on my children. Let's be
talk-
super clear about that.
they probably went in and go, "That's stupid."
Yeah. Bro, what?
Dad's got no riz.
That hurts me on the inside when you say that shit. It really does.
you just said dog water.
I know. And that was stupid too.
Yeah, but he
And I hurt myself on the inside.
he got a little bit of riz when he used that though, and then he just
I don't ever want to have Riz.
you're risen.
No.
Yeah, you're
Thanks.
risen.
It's not Easter.
I'm not sure.
Come on, the religious upbringing.
I know,
I gotta
I
hit
love
it when
it.
I can.
I love it.
All right, so today's discussion point, because we've gone off the rails completely, generational homes and how this concept allows families to share the burden of home ownership and minimize expenses as the cost of goods soars across the board. So
So
we used to see this a lot
yeah,
with like foreigners,
yeah,
right? They would come in, or they would come in as like two brothers or something. They get
Mhm.
them started, they bring in the wife, they bring in the kids, and then it's grandparents, and then it's an aunt and uncle. It could be whomever,
yeah.
right? You know, living in a house, sharing the cost, doing those different things. Well, there was a report in one of the real estate publications that I'm subscribed to,
Mhm.
talking about how there's kind of been a failure to launch for millennials because the price of home ownership is largely out of reach.
Yeah.
And you talked about it in a previous episode, I think, about marriages and, you know, people not getting married and doing the traditional marriage things
Yeah.
that allow like a double income household to be able to purchase these things like a home and what have you.
Yeah.
And so there's been kind of a move, not necessarily towards like a homestead type feel. I don't think that's the right frame of reference, but like a home that's big enough for like a generational home
Yeah.
to allow the kids to stay there, you know, as they're going out and they're still working, but then they're able to save more of that money or invest that money or do whatever it is they want
Right.
to start a business. So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on like that concept, because we have kids that are going to be getting older.
Yep.
And that's one of the things Jessica and I have talked about is like, do we start acquiring some rentals when we have the
Right.
opportunity here locally, so that as the kids get older, if they want a home like this, this is a real possibility that they could move into that home. And that's something that we could in theory gift them to get them started in life.
For sure.
You know, that's
Which-
something we're discussing now. But I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
That's a great idea. And if you can actually do that, I mean, what a jump start
Right.
to life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
To like really get your feet wet. I do know a couple personally that happened to. I don't know if it was gifted or just given at a really friendly rate,
Sure.
but
Yeah, of
either
course.
either way, the house was able to be paid off pretty quickly,
Sure.
and they kind of got their life started there. And then once they had their first kid, they were able to sell that house
Right.
for all profit and go someplace they wanted, relatively debt free.
Right.
Man, and what a fucking jump start to like
Right.
either not have a mortgage or have a very low mortgage or something like that,
Sure.
and be able to get everything established. So I think it's a great idea. On the other side of everybody living together,
Sure.
when I was a TV installer, seen that a lot with the Mexican families. Almost
Did ya?
all of them did that.
Yeah.
Relatively big house,
Mhm.
but like the grandma and the mom would be in there cooking. The dad and the brother would be coming home from work. There's kids all over, but
Right.
like it wasn't like absolute chaos if that's what you're used to.
Well, and that's right.
You know,
and I'm
you know what I
used to
mean?
it. And
I'm used to it with my family, but like
Sure.
imagine combining our families.
Right.
Or
100%.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like
100%.
going from the life that I'm at now to that would be tough.
Sure. Well, and there's a lot to be said about independence, and we grew up and like my dad was excited, like 18 motherfucker, Adios.
Yeah.
You know, and I also wanted to leave. It's not like he kicked me out,
Right.
but I wanted to leave. Or he's like, you're gonna have to pay rent somewhere. So if you're gonna be here, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna pay rent, you know, to help with living expenses and what have you and whatever else.
For sure.
He wasn't wrong
Mm-hmm.
because I was freeloading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because no, now you're an adult. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's
Right.
an expense now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you weren't probably kicked out of the house. You were also the baby, so they probably wanted you to stay forever.
Of course.
But, and the most loved. But,
Always.
but I mean, was it kind of like, well, now you've graduated high school. See ya.
No,
No.
like I didn't have to pay rent, but like I was still going to school.
Right. So there wasn't necessarily an urgency or like anything along those lines.
No, I didn't move out till I got engaged.
Yeah.
Which
And then you guys bought,
wasn't that long.
then you guys bought the house, right?
No, we stayed in an apartment for at least a year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How about you?
I wasn't forced to move out. I didn't move out until I got with Kelly.
Okay.
She was, I think she was living with her sister
She
at the
didn't-
time.
She didn't like your bedroom.
No, I mean, it was fine. We were together for a little while and like, we just kind of like, she was living with her sister. We kind of wanted our own space.
Right.
You know, so we
Yeah,
were
of
like,
course.
well, let's get an apartment together and just see where it goes. You know what I mean? It's a year lease. It's like, let's go give it a shot.
Mhm.
And we got a place out here in Davison.
Okay.
And that's kind of where it all started. But no, my parents were never going to make me leave.
Right.
Like, I don't even know if they wanted to like turn my bedroom into anything. You know what I mean? I don't
Sure.
think it was anything like that.
Sure.
Started painting before you left.
Yeah. They're picking out, they got color swatches taped
Yeah.
to the walls.
Well, I mean, if you remember, I've probably talked about it before. My mom was kind of like neurotic with all that stuff. Like I'd come home from school and all the furniture would be moved and she'd be painting the living room. And
Sure.
came home one day and like we're getting new carpet and shit. And it's like, oh, cool, you know. Like, but it was always
Didn't know that was on the horizon.
Yeah, everything was just ever changing all
Right.
the time, which was great. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything was clean all the time too.
That's even more amazing. You know, and we have a reasonably sized house.
Yeah.
You know, for 6 people, it could be bigger, but it's not, we're never uncomfortable.
Right.
Right? We're never uncomfortable. But I mean, in thinking about it, it was like, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to charge my kids rent. As long as they're not being pieces of shit. Like you don't
Yeah.
get to sit around the house in your early 20s and not work.
Yeah, and
If
play
you're
video
not-
games all day.
Yeah,
and
if you're
eat my
not
food all day.
contributing here, you know, now we're going to have a much more serious conversation because you need to get started in life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you know, if my kids are working or they're going to school or they're doing both,
Yeah.
you know, please live at home. Let's mediate those expenses because going out and spending, which at this point, it could be $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 a month for an apartment,
Yeah.
you know, 10, 15 years from now.
For sure.
Do you want to pay that or do you want to be able to save that for a potential down payment on a home or be able to invest in your future?
I was just
you
going
know?
to say, and like you said earlier, to invest, I mean, that would be the smartest move.
Right.
You know what I mean? Live at home, invest as much money as you possibly can,
100%.
and just set yourself up for success.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
So-
And I guess my whole point in bringing up this discussion is that we in the real estate industry, we're seeing this trend
Yeah, I'm sure.
where, you know, grandpa dies, grandma has nowhere to go, moves in with her daughter, husband, kids who are aging up, but they still need the space. And, oh, well, they're not going away to college and da, 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 da. So all of a sudden they're looking at 5, 6 bedroom homes.
hmm
But now grandma's contributing, mom and dad are still working. So they're able to buy, you know, at least in
Right.
this area, $500,000 house with all the space that they could need.
Right.
You know, if 1 or 2 of the kids leaves, but 2 want to stick around, they still have their own space. They still have, you know, what have yous.
For sure.
And we're seeing that a lot more. I mean, that I
Hmm.
grew up that way. When my grandpa passed away,
Hmm.
my grandma moved in with my mom and dad, you know,
Right.
and lived there at the house with me and my sister until I moved out. You know, I think it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's always seasons, right?
Right.
You know, my grandma,
For sure.
she passed away, but I mean, there was still many, many, many years there where they were able to mitigate each other's expenses by sharing that burden of
Yeah.
the home ownership and whether they were able to save more or help contribute to groceries or what have you.
Right.
I don't know. It was an interesting snippet that I saw, so I figured you guys might have some thoughts about it.
It is pretty interesting because I mean, everybody does their stuff different. Both my grandpas passed away, my grandmas didn't want to live with anybody. They
Right.
just wanted to stay in their home,
Sure.
and just live out their life and do their thing. My
Right.
grandma drove all the way up until she didn't feel comfortable driving anymore. And then
Right.
she would get rides to church, from her friends and stuff like
Yep.
that. But I mean, they just went about their lives,
Yep.
however they could. And yeah,
It's interesting.
it is. It's interesting how everybody does it a little bit different.
X, any thoughts?
No. Get old and die.
It's
How's
you
that
know,
for an upper?
you know
Okay.
the older I get though, the more
It's
I'm like,
guaranteed to happen to us all.
yeah. Well, and you're fortunate to be able to just die in your own home.
Right.
Realistically, I mean, that's
Absolutely.
got to be like the ultimate comfort.
Right.
It's your serenity zone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're not in a hospital or fucking whatever. And yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna go, hopefully I go that way.
Right.
There's a lot of other ways to go.
Yeah. A lot more violent ways to go.
Yeah. So you can only hope for that something like that.
No, I think it's an interesting thought process, and it'll be different. I mean, by the time my kids are old enough, I probably won't be able to wait for them to leave the house. Or
Yeah,
maybe they go off to
maybe.
college and one's on the West Coast and one's on the East Coast and a couple are down south. I mean, who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
But you had a lot of really good ideas that I never really thought about before, for the kids when they're older, because you're always trying to set them up for some kind of success.
Right. I just
You
had that
don't-
conversation with the kids the other day. You guys might not like me making you do your laundry, empty the dishwasher, make your beds. But I said, it's not my job to be your friend and do all this shit for you. I'm not your fucking servant, nor are you mine. I said, my job is to ensure that you're set up with the understanding of how to live life when somebody's not around telling you what to do.
Yeah. And I'm not asking you to do my stuff.
Right.
I'm just asking you to contribute to family stuff. You know what I mean? Just maintaining the household, things like that.
So this might be a little bit more topical for you because you have some older kids, X. Have they talked about moving out? Is there any plans there? Are they going to school and they're just going to live at home? Like what are they kind of doing? Do they have a feel for anything?
Nah, I mean, I'm not anti-school, but I'm not big on college at the moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I agree with
But
that.
I'm not, on the same token, I'm not in any huge rush. Like,
Boot them.
yeah, like, I don't know, figure it out. You're not very old.
I completely
Like-
agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. One of the biggest disservices I did, I wasted money on apartments for years,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
was like, if I could have just swallowed my pride and tried to get along with my parents a little bit better, I could have, instead of paying $400, $500, $600 at that time for a 1-bedroom apartment, I could have paid my parents $200, basically lived at my friends' houses 99% of the time
Yeah.
and saved 60-70% of that rent cost that I was outlaying.
Or bought your first house
Yeah.
really early. One of my old bosses bought a house when he was 18 years old.
Mhm.
Super cheap over in the city. It's a fixer upper, but he was in the construction industry anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, I just came home every day and fucking did a little bit of something. He's like, 5 years down the road, he goes like, the market came up, I sold it, and I mean, there's your jumps, like
Right.
that. There's your lump sum of money that you need
Right.
to get started if you have that mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's probably something that I wish I would have done
Right.
at a young age,
Yep.
just didn't fucking care or
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
Really.
It's just different priorities.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
I was going to say it's really about being selfish at the time.
Yeah.
Well, like when
Oh,
you're
yeah,
young,
absolutely.
like you want these other things, but
Sure.
the same could be said if
I just wanted to
you
have
just wanted a house.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
still selfish.
I just wanted to have fun.
what you want.
I didn't really have any like aspirations or goals. I had no idea what the fuck I wanted to do. I just wanted to have fun.
Right.
And that's where I was at.
Yeah.
At that point in my life. And I just
100%.
kind of like figured it out along the way.
Yep. Yeah, completely.
Mhm.
Completely. It's interesting to see how I guess I'm eager to see how it develops with my kids.
Oh yeah,
Because
for
again,
sure.
knowing the strained relationship I had with my parents at certain times through my teenage years,
Mm.
I'm going to try to avoid that with mine
Yeah.
through transparency, open communication. Just I'm going to try.
Mm.
The likelihood that I hit a home run with all 4 kids is pretty slim. One of them's going to fucking despise me and won't be able to wait to get out of the house. Potentially. Who knows?
Potentially.
Jessica can work her magic and usually smooth over my emotional outbursts. But all things considered, m- m- my kids, I want my kids to feel welcome all the time
Mm.
and know that I want to help them get a good start in life. I don't want to be a helicopter parent. I don't want to be monitoring everything that they do every second of every day. Go out and live your life.
Yeah.
Have that autonomy. I want you to know that when you come home, that's a safe place for you to be. And we want you here. You're always welcome.
Right.
And I hope that I can instill enough of an education in them that they'll understand the reasons behind it. Like, this isn't the time to go out and buy yourself an $80,000 car.
Right.
This is the time to save and build and set yourself up for success in the future so that when you leave, you don't have to come back.
Yeah.
Right? You'll always be welcome, but the goal is so that when you leave, you're going to leave on the best of terms and the best path of success moving forward.
Because that pool table is fucking heavy and I don't want to move it again.
I will not move it again. We've all seen that meme. Listen, all of your friends are old. Nobody wants to help you move for pizza and beer.
Nope.
And it's fucking truth.
No.
That's absolute fucking truth.
I'm done helping people move.
Yes, me too.
Too old.
Yep.
I'll help you like move an appliance or something. If you're going to get a fridge or something, you need me to help you move that.
That's what I have the wife for. Come on, babe. Use those muscles.
You ever seen that moving straps you put over your shoulders?
Yes, those things are fucking sweet.
Dude, what a game changer.
Yeah.
Like, we did that with our fridge. My buddy brought him over. He's like, because I was like, I got a dolly. He's like, no way. He's like, I got these moving straps. I'm like, all right. Dude,
It's like nothing.
Yeah, like it was a refrigerator, and it was like, thump, we walked out the front door, set it down, grabbed the other one, walked. I mean, it was that fat.
That's fucking sweet.
I'm like, that was so great. I'm like, why have I never seen these before? Like, could have saved all them discs in my back.
Yeah, no shit.
Holy crap.
It's fucking terrible. I've helped people move a handful of times, and every time I'm like, I'm never doing this again. This is dumb as hell.
Do you remember
it's
them?
usually the same person.
Do you remember them Sony?
Yup. 100% yup.
This is the third time. I'm
done with
This is like second weddings. Here's your card. There's no check.
Yeah.
I had to think there for a second. I don't have many of Yeah. No, I don't have too many of those.
Too many. I don't have too many of
Never
those.
mind. That's another conversation for another day.
You remember them Sony Trinitron TVs?
Yeah, they weighed a fucking
Dude.
metric ton.
They were giant. And every time you had
Back
to
in
move
Vogue,
somebody,
those are worth some coin.
well, every time you had to move somebody, they had one in the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Every
Or on the second
fucking
floor.
time. Yeah, every fucking time. And I'm like, why would anybody want to move this anywhere but the main floor? Like, it was, and they were awkward. They were like extra long with the speakers on the side, and you couldn't really grab them anywhere. And
Well,
it's like,
the problem was where you wanted to grab them, it was off balance. So you could never hold it the right way. You always had to hold it fucked up because the center of balance was all becocked.
yeah, I don't know why they put a 40-pound weight like right in the front of it. You know, like, what the fuck?
It wouldn't have broke if you dropped it.
Nope.
No, it broke your foot though. Like,
Oh, yeah. It would have turned it into fucking flesh soup.
mush. Yes.
Fucking crazy. All right. Well, listen, we're actually kind of on schedule for this episode. So we're going to crush it.
I fucking told you.
It only took us a month. It only took us a month
1
to
month.
get back to a baseline.
That's okay.
A
I'll take it.
baseline of debauchery. I know that I pledged to the listeners, I'm going home to introduce the wife to Tony Danza. Not just any Tony Danza, the Tony Danza.
I don't see what Kelly thinks about the bee fingers. Sorry, babe. I'm just kidding.
JK. JK, babe. JK. All right. Well, that is it for this episode of Incredibly Uncensored. X, we're going to let you go home and get some sleep, bud. You gonna make it?
Yeah, I thought there was another Reddit story or something.
Nope. Nope. That's it. We're all done. We're all done. All right. Well, that's it for episode 45. We'll be back next week with episode 46, and we'll be in February, baby.
Woo!
Let's rock and roll. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye.